Fellow legends and super legends, Elder here. I decided to just make this video real quickly. Getting my bike ready. Tomorrow's ride, we're doing like 5 hours. So I wanted to just check something. The chain is a little loud. And so it dawned on me to just do a quick video on how frequently should you lube your chain. The best way to look at it, if you're riding in dry weather, and let's say you're riding 7 to 10 hours a week, once a week, lube your chain. That's just baseline. If you get caught in a downpour or shower, of course, right after that, you're going to clean your chain and lube it. And depending on how messy it is, you may want to degrease it and then lube it if you got caught in rain. But for just dry riding, just the normal dust that you pick up, with the assumption is you've been wiping the chain every day after your ride, keep the debris off the chain so it doesn't get ground in. To prolong the life of your components, lube your chain about once every 7 to 10 hours. I ride about 10 to 12 hours a week. So once a week, I lube my chain. And then sometimes, depending on what's going on, it may get a little loud. The chain should be background noise. When you're riding, you should hear your tires, not the chain. The chain should be like just purring. You shouldn't be hearing any kind of a metallic noise from the chain, like a chink or, just a clanging or pinging or anything. You shouldn't be. If it gets noisy like that, where you hear metallic noises from the chain, you need to lube it. The lube I prefer to use is the ProLink Pro Lube. It's on my website, recommended cycling product. Go to Veloharmony, recommended cycling products in the web store. It's there. The reason I use this is because it not only lubes, but it cleans the chain while it's lubing. So it keeps your chain clean. Your chain doesn't have to be dirty. You shouldn't have to see the lube you put on there. It doesn't matter what kind of lube you use. If it's dirty and black and gray, that's just dirt. That's not doing anything for the chain. The lube occurs where the pins are in the rollers. So the pins that go this way and the rollers are on them, that's in there. It's where you want the lube. So anything you see on the outside is just stuff that's going to wear down your chain. So all that dirty, gritty looking chain, I'm sure you always see some riders show up, the chains are filthy. That means it's just been neglected. The chain should not be dirty. When you're changing your flats or whatever, your hand should not turn black. That means you've neglected your chain, and chances are you're not going to get a lot of help when your chain's filthy if you have a flat in a group ride. So it's important to keep your stuff clean. So you can see this chain here is on the downside of its life, but it's still clean. Okay. It's at the point where it's about 0.5 on the checker. So I still have some use, but in a few months it will probably be replaced, but it still functions. That's why I use the checker. So I'm not guessing. And I'm not wasting money. So all I did was I just lubed it. And so I'm going to clean my bike. I rode a couple of days this week and just was busy when I got back and didn't clean it. I like having my bike clean. So under here, that's just my simple green mixture with water. 1 part to 3 parts water. That's what I do. It keeps it pretty easy to use. And so all I'm doing is cleaning under here. Now, it's no big deal. I just like having my bike clean. That's just me. But the main thing is for everybody is if you do a lot of sweating, clean your top tube after you ride, because that's where the sweat drips. Just wipe it off. Even if you don't want to use simple green, you can use soapy water or just water. Just wipe it down. And you can just wipe the bike. Just wipe the main tubes. You don't need to do a full wash all the time. Just wipe the main tubes, that's all. In between the tires there, I just kind of do this. That's it. I like keeping my bike clean. If I'm going to be riding it needs to be clean. Same thing with my car. I don't like to drive a dirty car. Even if I have to drive through one of these touchless car washes, because I don't like those things touching my car because they end up putting marks on your clear coat, because they're not designed for your car, the brushes that they use in the car washes. So either I do the hands car wash or wash it myself, or I do the touchless just to get some of the dirt off of it. But for the most part, it's just, it lets me find anything that may be going on with the bike. And plus I like for it to look good. So this is what you do. You get your bike ready. There are no surprises when you show up at your important rides. So Thursday, Friday, those are the days to get your bike ready for the weekend. There's nothing more discouraging than going to a ride you're excited about and then you run into a mechanical. I've already looked at my tires, so they're in pretty good condition. These are relatively new tires. And so the bike's ready. So I put the lube on there and I wiped it immediately because with ProLink, it's so light that it drips. You can put it on the top or on the bottom, but I keep a rag as I lube. And those of you who haven't seen the other video I made, I mark one link with a marker and then I start lubing each link with one drop, and you roll. You keep your eye on the last link, you put it on and you just roll because you've already marked that one. When you come back to the mark, you're done. But you want one drop on each link. Anything else is wasted. You don't need much because that drop goes in there between where that pin goes, where the roller is. The lube needs to be in there where the roller and that pin, that's where you want the lube to go. So by dripping it on there, it gets in there. And that's why it's always best to lube your chain at least 2 hours before you ride, so you don't pick up too much debris. Because until the lube has gotten a chance to get in there, it just picks up a lot of crap. So just remember that. I just want to share this with you guys. A quick tip. Keep your chain lubed. It should be quiet. If you're hearing the chain when you're riding, it needs to be lubed. I'm not talking about when it's in between gears where it's rubbing. I'm talking about when it's in the gear and you're still hearing it. You're hearing those rollers. That means they're dry. So that's it. So I got some questions after the last group ride we put out there. People asking about how my rear light is set up and what kind of tail light I have on the bike. This is made by Surface. It's called the UTL 60. They've since changed the model, but they've got a newer model that would probably work the same way because it's the strap that controls it. So I wanted to share with you guys how I chose to mount my light. I used to mount it on the seat tube before, but the strap that it hooks onto would rub on my leg, and it was wearing my shorts a little bit. So I moved it back here, which ended up being a perfect spot. Paul Ilonga was the other set of eyes that approved it. I'm going to move it closer. I hope you can see. I got the light on. I'm going to move it, and then I'm going to turn the light off. Let's turn it down because it's very bright. Let me turn it off. Okay. Now, you can see, this is what you see in the video when Paul's filming me. It's like the tail light of a car. Surface did a great job. So even when it's off, it has a light that you have on your car tail light. The sunlight reflects on that clear part and the red part. So drivers can still see this. That's why it was noticed in the video. Because when the sunlight hits this, it looks just like the tail light on a car. So even during the day when it's off, this is still visible. They see that. So when the camera was filming, when Paul was filming, people saw that and started asking questions. This position ends up being the perfect spot for it. I'm able to do that because my S&P saddle has a logo, a little plastic clip on the back. I'm going to take this off. So I took the regular strap that comes with it. That's the band. And let me unhook it and just slide it out. This is the light. I used to wrap it around the seat tube, and so it would look like that. So all I did was went this way. But when a car's light hits it, they can see that even when it's off, or when the sunlight hits this, when you're riding with it there during the day when it's off. The videos that Paul took during the group ride, there was sunny days, so I didn't turn them on. But I'm able to do that because of this thing on the SMP. It has a hole between this little plastic thing and the saddle. And so all I do is I loop this in there and then clip it. So it ends up being like that. That's it. I'm going to charge it now. So I decided to make this video since I was going to take it out. I run a white light on the front of the bike. For those of you who have not seen my lights video, you can search on it. I will put a link in here to it where I covered all the lights that I have. But I run this light. It's a $14 light. If you go to veloharmony.com, go to the web store, recommended products, it's there in the lighting section. This is so light, unobtrusive. I leave it on the bike. It's on the bike all the time. In fact, I liked it so much I bought 2 of them. So they're on two of the bikes. This works. I'm going to charge it right now. It's bright. I usually run it blinking real fast, almost like close to strobe, but not quite that much, but it's visible. It works. So I have that on the front and this on the back. But what I like about this is that when it's off, it still functions. You can see that as I turn that. So when you're outside and the sunlight hits that clear part, somehow it just lights it up. And so people can see that, just like the taillight on your car. So I wanted to share that with you guys as I get the bike. I'm going for a small, short training ride to just loosen up my legs. Even though I'm riding 5 hours tomorrow, I just wanted to go out because I didn't ride much this week, which is good. So I'm excited about riding. And that's kind of how you want to feel. If you feel like you don't want to get out, don't go. That means you've been doing too much. Your body's tired. So I'm rested. I'm fresh. I'm just going to go out, easy gears, zoom 1 or less, and just spin. Just float. That's it. So get out there, get your miles in.